in what you've seen so far, do you consider what's happening an act of domestic political terrorism against one of your allies?
So Elon is a patriot. And again, I hardly knew Elon until the election. And he turned out that he liked me better than he liked these radical lunatics that were in it, better than Kamala, better than Joe, because he's an intelligent person. He backed me, and he went. And he got very much involved. He actually would go around saying, if Trump doesn't win, our country is over.
But do you consider this an act of domestic terrorism?
I think so.
The unholy alliance between Trump and Musk is probably the most predictable disaster in American politics. I mean, what did we expect when we put two billionaire man-babies in charge of the country? Trump pardoning January 6th insurrectionists while crying domestic terrorism when people protest against Tesla is peak hypocrisy. And Musk? The guy literally went on Fox News looking like someone stole his favorite rocket, complaining that people are mean to him because he's implementing the will of the people. If you were actually popular, wouldn't people be cheering instead of booing everywhere you go? If this is true for you, you can let me know by liking the video.
Terrorism, people ought to be put in jail and left there for a very long time and be taught a lesson.
So when they do it to a Tesla dealership, it's really bad. But when they do it to the halls of Congress, we should pardon them. Is that your position?
No, I've never. I don't support.
Are we okay with the January 6th pardons?
I know you haven't been around for a while, so let me educate you about my position about January the 6th.
I'm so sorry.
Let me educate you.
No, you don't need to patronize me.
You don't need to. You don't need to be condescending to me. So let me educate you about my position. You want to attack me? Let me finish. Let me finish.
Guys, let's do this January 6th and then near it.
I'm sorry you're getting emotional.
I'm sorry you're a condescending person who hasn't been paying attention to what I do.
Okay. Stop, guys.
So here's the issue. I didn't support what happened on January the 6th and was one of the first Republicans to call it out. I don't support the pardons. I have repeatedly, just like my friend Ashley here, said that no violence in our political system is acceptable. But this right here, what's going on with a guy who helps our country, who runs successful companies, who doesn't have to be doing this, and now one of his companies is under systematic terroristic threat and violence all over the country, and people seem to be laughing about it or fine with it. It's outrageous. I've sat at this table and had people say, we should cut Elon Musk from the government totally. He rescued our astronauts today. Is that what we want? The treatment of this guy is outrageous. These people who are doing this need to be found, put in jail, and made an example of. That's my point.
Anyone who commits violence against Tesla or Congress or anyone else should be put in jail, 1,000%. But that should not stifle dissent or opposition from Elon Musk.
Give it a little lip service. Give it a little both sides. Go ahead.
We're so both sides here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to say that people are legitimately upset. They're legitimately upset at Elon Musk, and they're doing it on their own, but there is no reason to have violence in the country. But I just wish all of us would support criticism of, or would support punishing people who are violent wherever they are.
Let's be real for a second. Elon invested $227 million in Trump's campaign and has already made $54 billion since the election. That's not government efficiency, that's corruption on steroids. And now he's walking around with unprecedented power, firing inspectors general who investigate his companies and acting like he's some sort of victim? Give me a break. The same guy whose factories have terrible safety records and labor violations is now in charge of deciding which government agencies get gutted. You know, those pesky agencies that protect workers from being exploited by, well, people exactly like him.
Yeah, it turns out when you take away people's, what the money they're receiving fraudulently, they get very upset, and they basically want to kill me because I'm stopping their fraud, and they want to hurt Tesla because we're stopping this terrible waste and corruption in the government. And, well, I guess they're bad people. Bad people will do bad things.
Trump and his MAGA crowd have perfected this weird victimhood complex where somehow the richest and most powerful people in the world are always the ones being attacked. Like, seriously? How does that even make sense? J.D. Vance flies to Munich to lecture Europe about free speech, then comes home and starts detaining people for criticizing Trump. Meanwhile, Trump himself has hundreds of lawsuits against media companies for just reporting facts. These guys talk about freedom while actively working to silence anyone who disagrees with them. See the problem?
And really, we're just implementing the will of the people. And we've got this window where we can finally take corrective action. We can fix the government, fix the country, and create a great future. And again, that's only possible because of President Trump. I can't say enough good things about him.
What's happening with this administration is basically a corporate takeover of the government. Musk hiding in the White House, refusing to testify before Congress because he knows his actions can't stand up to scrutiny. Republicans running cover for him instead of doing their actual jobs. Remember when government was supposed to be for the people and by the people, and not for the ultra-rich and by the ultra-rich? Yeah, those were the days. Now we've got billionaires directly controlling federal agencies and cutting programs that ordinary Americans rely on while making themselves richer.
I don't know why Republican members even show up to this committee or to Congress when it's clear who's really in charge of the federal government right now, and that's Elon Musk. And at the beginning of this hearing, when we asked our Republican colleagues if we could bring Mr. Musk to this committee, Republicans ran cover for him. They want him hiding in the White House tweeting, and they voted unanimously that they didn't want to hear from Elon Musk. Supposedly, this committee is supposed to be about rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse. And I agree. So let's talk about waste, fraud, and abuse. The biggest fraud in U.S. government right now is Elon Musk pretending to care about efficiency when what he cares about is taking your taxpayer dollars, taking your Medicare, taking your Medicaid, taking your Social Security, and enriching himself and his billionaire buddies with it. The biggest abuse in the U.S. government right now is Elon Musk getting $154 billion richer since the election just a few months ago, while consolidating unprecedented power over your money and your government. Mr. Musk invested $227 million in Trump's election and is making billions off of it. That's waste. That's fraud. That's abuse. And speaking of waste, another waste is my House Republican colleagues showing up because they waste their time. They won't speak out about any of these abuses against working people and taxpayers. This is the Oversight Committee, and there are 17 independent inspectors general. They are watchdogs. They are the oversight arm of the federal government. And Trump and Musk illegally fired 17 of them, including a watchdog that was investigating one of Musk's companies. And what I've heard from House Republicans is either silence or defending that kind of behavior. You guys know that it's embarrassing and it's wrong, and that's why you voted to not have Musk here before us. Elon Musk is not doing anything to make government more efficient for working people. He's using his position to more efficiently raid your taxpayer dollars to enrich himself and his friends.
The most infuriating part? They keep pretending this is what Americans want. Musk goes on TV claiming he's just implementing the will of the people while hiding from those same people. If your ideas are so great and popular, why won't you defend them in public? Why does Trump need to make sure venues are empty before he shows up? Why won't Musk testify before Congress? It's because they know exactly what they're doing, raiding taxpayer dollars, gutting social programs, and enriching themselves at our expense. And they know most Americans aren't on board with that plan.
I'm told that this hearing is about right-sizing government. So I propose that we start right-sizing our federal government by firing the most dangerous man in it, and that's Elon Musk. To protect our taxpayers, we should fire Elon Musk. To keep American Social Security numbers private, fire Elon Musk. To protect Medicare and Medicaid, fire Elon Musk. To save schools and our jobs, fire Elon Musk. And to protect the idea that American people have a government for the people and by the people, and not for the ultra-rich and by the ultra-rich, we must fire Elon Musk. Attacking working families is nothing new for him. Mr. Musk's biggest factory sits in my district. And the first thing I did after I was elected to Congress was to call for an OSHA investigation into the injuries and deaths of workers building that very factory. Those were investigations to be launched by the Department of Labor, where later today we're hearing that Musk's minions are going to go and maybe start shutting down parts of that key agency that is built to oversee big corporations and defend the interests of workers. Musk's companies, like Tesla, have been sued and found liable for many labor violations. Screwing over working people is just part of the game for him. He has been found liable for improperly giving not safety training to construction workers and withholding wages. OSHA fined Tesla for exposing workers to hazardous chemicals without proper training and monitoring. OSHA opened up investigation into deaths of workers at the Tesla Gigafactory in 2024. SpaceX, another one of Musk's companies, was found responsible for the deaths of one of their workers, Lonnie LeBlanc, due to head trauma that he got on the job. So now Musk has seemingly unlimited power to take advantage not just of his own employees, not just of American consumers, but of all Americans. Unlimited power to Americans' data. Unlimited power to choke off funding meant for Americans and the programs that people count on. Enough is enough. But thankfully, our country isn't one of Musk's companies. Our country is ours. A billionaire whose career is built on the abuse and exploitation of workers should not have unlimited power in this country. He should be before this committee. And when he comes before this committee, if somebody wants to do the right thing, all you got to do is turn on your mic and say, fire Elon Musk.
Look at what Congressman Kassar pointed out. Musk's companies have been sued and found liable for numerous labor violations, including improper safety training and withholding wages. Workers have literally died at his factories. And this is the guy now in charge of efficiency in government? What they really mean by efficiency is efficiently transferring wealth from working Americans to billionaires. It's all about cutting Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security to pad their own pockets. This isn't making America great. It's making America work exclusively for the already wealthy. And honestly, that's been the plan all along, hasn't it? Thanks for watching this far. Someone else who wants to see the truth, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.